Rafah. The name itself evokes a sense of remoteness, of being on the edge. It is the southernmost city in the Gaza Strip, wedged between Israel and Egypt. The city of over 250,000 people is anything but ordinary. Geography and politics collide here, shaping lives by borders and blockades. It is a place of immense warmth and hospitality where visitors are greeted with open arms. Yet it is also a place etched with the scars of conflict. The Rafah crossing is more than just a border post, it is a lifeline and a symbol of hope.
The Rafah crossing is a place of intense emotions. For Palestinians in Gaza, it represents a rare opportunity to connect with the outside world. Families divided by conflict long to reunite, and the sick desperately seek medical treatment. The crossing offers a glimmer of hope, a chance for a better future. However, the reality is often harsh. Controlled by Egypt and subject to regional politics, the crossing is frequently closed. Thousands cram into the terminal, navigating a maze of checkpoints and security checks. The Rafah crossing, meant to be a gateway, often feels like a chokehold.
The impact of the Rafah crossing reverberates throughout the city. The streets leading to the border are lined with shops selling suitcases, snacks and other essentials for travelers. The air buzzes with a mixture of anticipation and anxiety. Taxi drivers call out destinations, their horns a constant reminder of the city's role as a transit point. But life in Rafah is more than just the crossing. It is a city with a rich culture and a strong sense of community. Families gather for traditional meals, children play in the streets, and neighbors support each other through thick and thin. Despite the hardships, the people of Rafah have an indomitable spirit, a determination to live their lives with dignity and hope. The city is a tapestry of stories, each one reflecting the resilience of its people. There is the story of the young woman who, after years of waiting, was finally able to cross to receive life-saving medical treatment. Then there is the story of the family who, separated for years, was reunited at the crossing in a moment of bittersweet joy. And there is the story of the teacher who, despite the limitations imposed by the blockade, continues to inspire his students to dream big.
One cannot speak of Rafah without acknowledging the profound impact of separation on its residents. The Israeli-imposed blockade, coupled with the unpredictable nature of the Rafah crossing, has torn families apart and shattered countless dreams. Many families in Rafah have relatives living just a few miles away across the border in Egypt or in the West Bank. Yet they are unable to see each other for years, sometimes even decades. Grandparents miss out on watching their grandchildren grow up. Siblings are deprived of sharing life's milestones. And parents are forced to endure the unbearable pain of being physically separated from their children. The emotional toll of this forced separation is immeasurable, leaving a deep scar on the collective psyche of the community. Despite these hardships, the people of Rafah display remarkable resilience. They have learned to adapt to a life of uncertainty, finding ways to connect with loved ones across the borders through phone calls, video chats, and the occasional smuggled letter. They celebrate weddings and other special occasions with whoever is present, cherishing the moments of joy amidst the constant struggle.
The Israeli-imposed blockade, in place since 2007, has had a devastating impact on Rafah and the entire Gaza Strip. The restrictions on the movement of goods and people have crippled the economy, fueled unemployment, and led to a dire humanitarian situation. Basic necessities, like clean water, electricity, and medical supplies, are in chronically short supply. The blockade has turned Gaza into an open-air prison, its residents deprived of their basic human rights. The people of Rafah, like their counterparts throughout Gaza, are trapped in a cycle of poverty and deprivation, their lives held hostage by a political conflict they did not create. The blockade extends beyond physical limitations. It has also taken a toll on the mental and emotional well-being of the people. The constant stress of living under siege, coupled with the lack of opportunities and the ever-present threat of violence, has led to a rise in mental health issues, particularly among children and youth.
Education has always been highly valued in Palestinian society, seen as a path to a better future. However, the blockade has cast a long shadow over the education system in Rafah. Schools are overcrowded and under-resourced, lacking basic supplies like textbooks and computers. The frequent closures of the Rafah crossing disrupt the academic year, making it difficult for students to complete their studies. Many bright and promising students are denied the opportunity to pursue higher education abroad due to the restrictions on travel. Scholarships are lost, dreams are shattered, and a generation of young people is robbed of the chance to reach their full potential. Despite these challenges, teachers in Rafah work tirelessly to provide their students with a quality education. They are acutely aware of the importance of their role, not just in imparting knowledge, but also in nurturing hope and resilience in the hearts of their students.
Walking through the streets of Rafah, one senses a palpable tension in the air, a feeling of a city holding its breath. The memories of past conflicts are etched into the very fabric of the city, visible in the bullet-scarred buildings and the stories shared by its residents. The trauma of war and displacement lingers, a constant reminder of the fragility of peace. The threat of renewed violence is ever present, casting a shadow over daily life. The people of Rafah have learned to live with this uncertainty, but it takes a heavy toll. Children grow up too fast, their childhoods punctuated by the sounds of airstrikes and the sight of military incursions. Parents grapple with the constant worry for the safety of their families, their hopes for a brighter future intertwined with the fear of losing everything. Yet even amidst this adversity, the spirit of the people of Rafah remains unbroken. They find solace in their faith, their families, and their community. They draw strength from their shared history of resistance and their unwavering belief in their right to a just and dignified life.
Despite the challenges they face, the people of Rafah have not given up hope. Amidst the rubble and despair, there are glimmers of hope, small acts of defiance and creativity that speak to the indomitable spirit of the human heart. Young entrepreneurs are starting businesses, artists are finding creative outlets to express their pain and aspirations, and community initiatives are working to rebuild their shattered lives. There is a growing recognition, both within Palestine and internationally, of the need to end the blockade and find a just and lasting solution to the conflict. Human rights organizations and activists continue to raise awareness about the plight of the Palestinian people, calling for an end to the occupation and a future where Palestinians and Israelis can live side by side in peace and security. The people of Rafah understand that their struggle is part of a larger struggle for freedom and justice. Their resilience serves as an inspiration to people around the world who are fighting for their rights and dignity.
The future of Rafah remains uncertain. The political landscape is complex, and the path to a just and lasting peace seems elusive. The blockade continues to strangle the economy, and the threat of renewed conflict hangs heavy in the air. The fate of the Rafah crossing, the city's lifeline to the outside world, remains subject to the whims of regional politics. Yet, even in the face of such daunting challenges, the people of Rafah refuse to give up hope. They continue to dream of a better future for themselves and their children, a future where they are free to live, work, and travel without restrictions. They hold on to the belief that one day the blockade will be lifted, the crossings will be open, and Rafah will finally be able to breathe freely. The resilience of the human spirit is a powerful force, and nowhere is it more evident than in the streets of Rafah. The people of this city, despite having endured so much, have not been defeated. They continue to resist, to rebuild, and to hope, reminding us that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit can prevail. Rafah's story is not just a local story, it is a microcosm of the larger Palestinian narrative. It is a story of dispossession, resilience, and the enduring hope for freedom and self-determination. The people of Rafah, like Palestinians throughout the occupied territories, refuse to be defined by their suffering. They continue to resist the occupation through peaceful means, demanding their inalienable rights and striving for a future where they are no longer denied their basic human dignity. Rafah stands as a testament to the human spirit's ability to endure even the most trying of circumstances. It is a city that refuses to be silenced, a city that continues to resist, to hope, and to dream of a better future. Understanding Rafah's story is to understand the heart of the Palestinian struggle, a struggle for freedom, justice, and the right to return.